And the thing is, I've heard this from about maybe 3 different sources. I don't trust anything from just one source anymore, but I heard it from 3 sources that it's so hard to, I have 2 masks on, it's hard to talk, but that everybody's going to get it sooner or later because it's that transmissible right now. And that really scares me because I have so many friends and family that are not vaccinated.
Yeah, in July I lost my stepfather to COVID.
Oh, you did? I'm sorry.
And in the beginning of COVID in 2020, right? It was 2019 or 2020 when it started?
2020.
Yeah, my friend that I live with, her mother had COPD, and she finally couldn't breathe, and she went to the hospital, and she ended up catching COVID. She had pneumonia, and she ended up catching COVID as well while in the hospital. And, you know, seeing, even me, you know, we couldn't see my stepfather in the hospispital, you know? Nobody could go there. It was still, even in July, there were still restrictions. They wouldn't allow you to go, you know, so, you know, and once they're hooked up to tubes and stuff, that and they couldn't answer the phone no more, you know, you're just calling up the hospital, asking them, you know, how they are, how they're doing, and they're saying, you know, either, you know, nothing's getting better, or they're declining, you should start getting ready for hospice, or this and that, or, you know, you know, and it's just hard for, and I could imagine all the thousands of people that had to go through that, you know, that
happened to you twice? Yeah.
So, you know, not being able to say goodbye to somebody, you know, that you care about, and, you know, could imagine, you know, them, at least when they were awake in the hospital, being alone, not being able to see anybody, you know, because I believe in, I'm not a real religious, you know, I'm Catholic. I have my own issues with religion, you know, I have faith, but, you know, but I do believe in spirituality, and
I believe in the Bible. I'm studying to be a chaplain, just so you know who you're talking to.
Yeah,
but,
so
like, I've dedicated my life to spirituality.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I'm actually thinking of, it's been in like 3 years in the making. I'm trying to go to Peru to do an ayahuasca ceremony with a very good shaman. What I was getting to was, you know, when people are sick, even if somebody says, hey, you know, you have cancer or something, you know what I mean? And you have nobody that you have that's there that loves you, you know, right away, that's declining your health right there, you know, that's bringing your spirits down, that's bringing, you know what I mean? People that are in their 60s, 70s, 80s, even maybe 90s, you know, and they're telling them to stay home, they probably couldn't get up to get themselves, you know, liquids or food, or God forbid, even go to the bathroom, you know?
Well, my situation is 3 good friends are at home, stuck there together, and this is the closest I've ever come to it. I was talking on the phone to my friend's husband today, talked to her a little bit, texting with her, and one thing I know is sometimes it gets better and then it gets bad again, so that's why I'm concerned. Otherwise I'd be thinking, oh good, they're getting better. They live right down the street from a hospital, but if I was them, I would not want to go to the hospital, because what does it take for you to admit that it's that bad? You know, so I would not want to go there. I think basically you're going to go to the hospitals when you need to get air, when it gets that bad. Otherwise, you're just going to stay at home and try to take care of it yourself, try to take care of each other. I don't think anybody really wants to be in a hospital bed.
And I mean, there's
COVID,
a lot of doctors, like my sister's been sick. She hasn't had COVID yet, but they've had, like, my sister had the flu, and like they don't even want to give, like, the first time you go there, you could be sick, coughing, have all these problems, but they don't want to give you any steroids or antibiotics. They just tell you to go home and take over-the-counter stuff. It's like,
that's what they say.
You know, even I understand the vaccination part, but even like all these things, like, they don't say on the news. Even like for me to stay healthy, you know, people to take vitamin C, take vitamin D, zinc.
Right.
You know, exercise, get outside, get sunlight. You know, they keep telling everybody to stay home, but you know, a nice walk, get fresh air. You know, you need exercise. A lot of the hospitals, they want to say, oh well, you know, your lungs are, you can't breathe, so you know, we're gonna put you on a ventilator. And the ventilator, instead of, what the ventilator does is it weakens your lungs. It doesn't make with this virus, because it's all upper respiratory, so it's not making, you know, it's not helping your body fight back, you know, to breathe on its own. So it's actually hurting the lungs worse. You know what I mean?
I heard that.
The spike proteins in the coronavirus, it destroys it starts destroying the cells in the lungs, you know, as it progresses. So, you know, even getting just normal antibiotics that you would get for like a bad upper respiratory infection would help people that have COVID. You know, maybe they don't have that bad of symptoms, and maybe just getting some, you know, like fluids, you know, to hydrate them, steroids and antibiotics. And I'm not disagreeing with, I'm not, you know, you know, like for not people to get vaccinated. I'm not saying that.
Okay.
But there are other things I think that they could be saying, like on the news, and for other things that doctors, you know, like it seems like the primary doctors and even doctors in the hospital and stuff, like they're afraid to, like it's like they know what's the right, like what the right thing to do, but they're not doing it. I mean, you're getting answers from all, you know, left, from right, to, you know, from people that don't know what they're talking about, to people that are, you know, seeing COVID patients, you know, all day long. You know, it's just it's just, you know, it's a very difficult thing. You know.
Well, you don't think that you're going to get to the place where you're needing to get something like monoclonal antibodies. And the only thing I know is I heard a commercial over and over again where a girl is calling her grandma and saying, "Grandma, you got to get monoclonal antibodies." I don't know what the heck they are, but sounds good to me, you know.
Yeah, I've seen that commercial.
Yeah, that's what I know. And
what they're doing is
Ivermectin. I don't think that's a good thing. It's like worm killer, but my friends were trying to get that. Monoclonal antibodies. A lot of famous people have taken that, and in 3 days they've had Delta, and I mean the worst symptoms. And they did that. They got monoclonal antibodies. They got fluids through IV. So you're saying that Ivermectin, it worked with some people? Yeah, and I've actually I do, like, when I'm not, since I'm not working and stuff, all I'm doing is like trying to find actual research from actual good research places online. Right, because there's so much information. Yeah, some of it's gotta be just crazy.
There's actual scientists and real doctors that work in hospitals right now, COVID patients, that are getting demonetized for opening their mouth saying that ivermectin is so cheap to make, and in studies with COVID that it works. Ivermectin works. Even
worm killer for horses is what ivermectin is, right?
CNN said it's a horse dewormer.
Right.
That was a complete sham. That's the thing that was what the person they were talking about that took that was Joe Rogan. Who said that he made an Instagram thing, said I had COVID, I'm in day 3 of it, and I'm already back in the gym. And the next day he tested negative. 4 days he had tested negative.
This Joe Rogan took the ivermectin.
Yeah, and then Ben Rodgers, the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, took the same thing that Joe Rogan did, and he was better in a few days.
Okay.
And this doctor's saying that they don't. It's all about right now is, even though the numbers with vaccinations show that they're helping, they're helping people, you know, it's not gonna, you know, it's not a cure for COVID, but it's gonna help you to pretty much mostly, you know, stay out of the hospital and not be deathly sick, you know, with COVID. Another thing I heard is that you're actually at risk for actually diminishing your immunity with the virus if you've already had COVID. If you have, you know, antibodies, like you should get a blood test before you get vaccinated, because if you already have antibodies, what happens is the spike protein that's in, you know, the coronavirus, they want you to get, you know, the one vaccination, and then, you know, you're supposed to go for the second one, but it's not what a lot of doctors and scientists are saying, that 6 months isn't enough time for your body to get all those spike proteins out. So you're like overdosing yourself with the spike proteins. That's where a lot of people. I haven't heard that before. You know, that's where a lot of people are getting sick. They're getting all these different reactions to the virus. A lot of younger people that are getting it. You know, that were healthy, that were getting vaccinated. I forget the name of it. You know, it's the inflammation in the heart, and that, you know, you live with that for life. You know, it's taking years off your life.
Where do you get your information from?
It's all from Eric Weinstein, Dark Horse podcast, Joe Rogan's podcast. Ivermectin, they have it for animals, but it's also been used. It's been, people have been using ivermectin since like the 1950s, and there's only been like a few, like 50 in all these years of effects from ivermectin. People have been taking it for years, you know, since like the 1950s.
So what, I want to ask you what your political beliefs are, and see like what category kind of you're in, because a lot of people that, in my experience, I believe as you do, they're kind of Trump followers.
No,
That's not you. Okay.
I do not like Trump.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are you Democratic?
Yes.
Wow, there's all kinds of different beliefs. So many. I wish you could hear all the different people that I talk to.
Yeah.
There's so many different perspectives. We've got the tapes that show that Trump knew.
I honestly think Fauci is, as much as he is, you know, his whole life is about science. I'm not, you know, downgrading him, but I think that there's things that they messed up on, and that he knows about, and they knew about, and that.
So they all generally know something they're not telling us, right? Okay. Yeah. I was going to ask you where you thought it came from.
I just think it's just about, like, maybe, you know, they could have, you know, he got all these grants to do the testing in Wuhan.
Who's he?
Fauci. You know, he's the one that that provided the grant money to keep that you know, facility open. The people that went there to check, you know, after already having a few things that you know, they got penalized for. You know, they're friends of Fauci, friends of the people that are providing the grants to do the research for it. And then
friends of Fauci?
Yeah, you know, and
they have research labs in America too. And I heard that the labs in America were connected with the Wuhan labs.
Yeah, they're all. It's all. What he wants to do. He got. I don't know exactly how much money it was, but he wants to keep going forward with finding more of these, like, really bad viruses, and trying to, you know, figure out how they, you know, if this were to ever get out, how we could already, you know, have something that would fix it, you know, if there was another pandemic. But I in my opinion, I don't think that should be what they should be focusing on, because, I mean, this is you know, we're gonna be living with this for, you know, this is not, it's gonna be like the flu, you know.
Hopefully, I mean, the flu was never like this, though. It was never
but
this bad.
You know, like when the swine flu came out, and you know, with all my health problems now, if I were to get, say, a bad case of COVID, you know,
I hope you get vaccinated.
You know, with my asthma, my overweight, I'm borderline diabetic, all these problems.
Are you afraid the vaccine might exacerbate the problem?
In a way, I mean, it's in the back of my head, you know, that I could have a reaction to it, you know, but at the same time, you know, all I have left of family is my mother, my sister, and my niece, you know, so my sister's vaccinated.
Okay, good.
My mother is, my niece isn't. She's 21, but she's just being, you know, spiteful right now, but...
Okay. My niece is 18. She's not vaccinated. She's about to get on a plane to go to Florida to see my mom.
I thought they weren't allowing people to travel if they weren't vaccinated.
I think they're considering that, and I wish they would consider it a lot quicker, because I really don't think it's a good time for her to go.
Right now, you know, my mother's helping me.
Oh, God bless her.
I find little side jobs.
My mom has helped me a lot.
Yeah, you know, I find, like, hey, you know, word of mouth, because I do a lot of good work, so, hey, somebody I know needs, you know, a few rooms painted, or, you know, any kind of I could do any kind of construction, so, you know, just little jobs like that just are getting me through right now, but it's not, you know, I'm behind, you know, even though I'm living with a friend, you know, her mother's not there no more, it's just her and her brother, so they're struggling to pay the mortgage, and
that's what people are doing, they're teaming up with other people.
Yeah.
A lot of people are doing that.
I'm not pulling my weight, you know, I'm behind in rent, you know, I'm trying to give what I can.
They must be good people.
Yeah, they're really good, because, you know, if it wasn't for her, I'd have nowhere to...
You'd be homeless.
Yeah.
Right?
So...
I don't know Bergen County that well. I know that's the place in New Jersey that the whole pandemic started.
Really?
I was following it then. You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, that was the first case.
Oh, wow.
I think it was the second case in the country or something.
Oh, wow.
It started out in Washington, if you remember that, at a nursing home.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it doesn't even seem like that long ago. And it was just a story you're watching on the news about this little nursing home and the outbreak. And then Bergen County had a huge outbreak, and that's where it all started for New Jersey, I think. I don't know if that was before New York or not.
I think it was before New York, because once New Jersey started getting a few, you know, the uprises, then it hit New York like really bad. I went to Catholic school when I was younger. Big commune, confirmed.
I talked to a lot of people with Uber. Do you feel like the Catholic faith has turned you off of religion, or that it enhanced
a
your
little
knowledge?
bit, but it was also when I was younger, a lot of things happened. You know, like my father was an alcoholic.
Oh my gosh.
You know, I was very close with I lived with my grandparents. I was very close with my grandfather. He had a massive stroke when I was in 3rd grade, and was paralyzed from the left side, and never recuperated. And he lived 7 years past that. And then my grandmother, we lived at her house in Elmwood Park. I lived here my whole life in Elmwood Park. I was born in Patterson.
You've got quite a history.
Yeah, this Elmwood Park used to be East Patterson, but they changed it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so yeah, the potholes still, the manholes still say East Patterson.